All right. You've made it this far. That means you're ready for the shift. And chaos, the chaos part, that's the real shift. Hello, my beautiful warriors of chaos. Yes, you've been upgraded to chaos. And of course, the ultimate goal is love. But acknowledging chaos is the real first step, don't you think? The reason I'm focusing so much on this part, by the way, the reason I have the Divine Chaos series is because my whole life, myself and others around me, we've learned to bypass. We rush to healing. We escape the uncomfortable. We've learned to bury the trauma, you know, and now it's time. And I feel like for me, since I've been facing the ugly, you know, opening the doors of the prison cells, you know, opening these like Pandora box within me, it's been very challenging, but it's been so rewarding as well, because I'm seeing a part of me that I actually love, and that, but it's not pretty, and it's not with a bow on top of it. It's like just me. So I just wanted to give you this little intro, and let's get into these readings. We're first starting out with the chaos, and then we're moving into what's coming because of this ugly that you are moving through. And I guess it's more of me wanting you to join me on this journey, because it's so uncomfortable. It's very challenging. I'm very challenged. I've been challenging myself as well to be living in the nothing zone and to just allow things to come up and clear. So let's get into the reading, because it's a tarot reading after all. And before I begin the reading, I also want to tell you that as you can see on my channel, if you guys follow me on Instagram and Facebook, even in YouTube, I have on shorts now as well. I'm doing a lot more of that. I have like a system going kind of thing. I do soul drops, I do chaos notes, I do a lot of reflective content. And I'm going to be introducing a music portal where I'm going to talk about healing, music as healing. And of course, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the band that activated me last year, and Stray Kids, which is a South Korean band. But I'm going to talk about other music as well, so it's just going to be all encompassing. All right, let's get into these readings. I love you, and do like, share, comment, subscribe. Super thanks me if you can. Do whatever you got to do to help me, support me on this channel. I would really appreciate it. I won't be repeating this again, so I'll see you in your readings. Hello, my beautiful Gemini. So your chaos, what you're releasing right now in your life, is 5 of Stars, which is the 5 of Wands, which says diversity. The 5 of Wands is Leo energy. The 5 of Wands is personal struggle, you know, fighting against yourself, fighting against your mind, which that's what you are. It's like, is it overthinking? It could be overthinking, but to me it's more of you fighting with yourself, like trying to justify yourself, you know, justifying your actions to other people, justifying your thoughts to, you know, like that's not a place you want to be in, especially Gemini, who is very mind, you know, like you're comfortable being in your mind more than most people, even though it's very overactive at times. Because, I mean, your planet is Mercury, which is the planet of communication. So you're very skilled in that, 100,000%. You're skilled in communicating with others, and you're probably very overly skilled with communicating with yourself, which is that overthinking, overanalyzing yourself. But the thing that's coming in is like, I feel like there's this like even very self-defensive energy showing up, where some of you are feeling you need to defend your choices that you're making. You need to justify yourself, and you don't. Like, can you be okay with like you're an air sign. You're never going to follow the rules. It's just never going to happen. Like, you're never going to follow the standards of humanity, even though you might be like, you're like, I know a Gemini that it does follow like that. And I of course, it's not like every single one, but generally speaking, air signs are very more innately rebellious, more like Geminis would be a little bit more introverted, like Aquarians. You have a little bit of introversion, like introverted but still extroverted. You still have a balance between these things, which is kind of interesting, actually. But you are also analytical, right? So you tend to be very hard on yourself. And you tend to, like if I'm just thinking in Gemini in general, you tend to phase out of when people start talking about shit you don't care about, right? And it's okay. I kind of admire that about you. I love that, that part of you that you're like, okay, I'm over it. When you're sitting with a conversation with a Gemini and if they're not talking, you're like, but anyways, you're clearing this because this means that you're struggling with people, or you're struggling with yourself, which is probably the biggest obstacle that you have in your life, is yourself, is your mind. Like you're like, I've said it before, like you're really hard on yourself and you take things personally, which is okay. So okay, let me see. This is the challenge. This is what you're releasing, which is very challenging for you. And what's coming, your outcome, is the starfish spirit. Like, the universe is like, okay, get ready for a new possibility showing up. You can't see the opportunities coming up. You can't see all this beautiful, I'm like, this like, the starfish, like when you think of the imagery of it, it's like, oh, open and embrace the new. But you can't allow that to come in if you're constantly in your mind, right? You're constantly, oh, why, blah, blah, blah. So let me see how we get there. How we get there. The Hierophant, the teacher. Ooh, the Hierophant showing up. I mean, in the original tarot is the Taurus energy, but it's like following the rules, tradition, customs. Like it's the Pope card. The Pope follows the rules, and it's like a little bit limitation here. But she doesn't look like that, or he, whatever this is. It's a he or she, whatever this is. They look like more like clarity is opening your wisdom, like opening, like listening to others. But mostly I feel like the Gemini is about the Gemini. The Hierophant is about trusting your wisdom, right? As like, even when I make my funny faces when I talk about religious stuff, like the Pope and all these things, they really believe in their belief system. They really believe in their ideologies, right? And they stick to it. And there's that part of that energy in Taurus, really believe in their their way of living, right? And there's that kind of energy showing up, which kind of is an offset of this, where you're constantly fighting with yourself about these belief systems, and you're trying to always you try to appease to the people in your life because you don't want to create conflict. But at the same time, it's like you're going against yourself. That's a big one. Okay, and the Page of Wands, curiosity, which is so you. The Page of Wands is actually, the Page of Stars. No, the Page of Stars, yeah. Page of Stars is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Is this like more like this kind of energy? The Page of Wands is an energy like a Fool card. It's taking risks and opening yourself up. I'm almost curious. I'm wondering if this is some of you are you're wanting to start a relationship or start a friendship with someone. You're a bit hesitant with it, you know, because you're over analyzing it. That could be for someone here. And it's like, trust your instinct, you know, trust yourself, trust you know, your value system, or trust yourself. And the Page of Wands, like, take the risk, like, go for it, like, just go for it, stop thinking so much, you know. Because the next card that shows up is the Star card, which is your hopes and dreams coming true, which is you embodying the star. Like, it's kind of cool, right? The star, the starfish, they kind of look the same. It's that kind of you embodying your truth, you know, you shining in your strengths and your weaknesses, whatever, they're all the same. But it's like you finding that balance, which is kind of beautiful, because the Gemini is a Lover's card, which is balance, which harmonious balance. And it's kind of and it's showing up here for you because, I don't know, like, in general, if I look at all the cards together, I feel like some of you are downplaying yourselves, and you know it. Within a relationship, within a friendship, like with your family, with your job, like you're not playing in your strengths, let's say, which I don't like to separate the strengths and weaknesses, but you're almost some of you are wanting to do things that perhaps the family, the partner in your life, because the Hierophant could be your family and your partners, by the way, and it's like marriage, it's family, it's legacy, it's all this, or the systems set in place. You know, there's something inside you that needs to come out, and you're you're in your like innerly fighting it with the external. You're internally fighting it, because the external is coming in a little bit strong for you, and you're feeling that, and you're like you want to fight the system. You know, that's a Gemini energy. I love it. That's why I love you guys. You want to fight like things that are just structured, and this kind of makes you a little bit weak at the knees. It's like and if a Gemini follows it, it's challenging. Internal fighting with yourself. But all these cards say, like, Gemini, say, get out of that loop, because you get stuck in that loop. Like, trust yourself. You're not here. I don't know many Geminis that I do know some, actually, that appease to everyone in their lives, but they eventually they dim their light so much that it's a little bit challenging for them to regain their spark again, right? And I don't wish to see that, because you're here for a reason, man. You're here to instigate, right? You're here to like trigger. You're here to trigger a lot of this comfortable energy. If there's Geminis here that live in always the comfort zone, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And I know that there are, and it's just like I see it, and I'm like, it's just not gonna work. because you're meant to expand the energy. You're air. You're to like allow others to see things differently. You know, and that's what's showing up here for you. Wow, it's really beautiful. And it's like, if you're feeling the struggle, if you're feeling that that something is trying to come out, to emerge, like, allow it. Page of Wands, like, fucking let it go. Stop playing in this game. The Monopoly game is not working for you anymore, Gemini. Like, it cannot. And I think about it more and more in this evolution that I'm in. It cannot work for you. It does not work for Gemini, for Aquarius. It just cannot work. It's not gonna work. And you're gonna feel it a little bit more deeply. And you are mind, so it's gonna be here. But trust it, like trust whatever is trying to explode within you. Allow it to, like a shooting stars, and things are gonna start to flow for you again if you allow yourself to be true to yourself. And this is the hard truth, Gemini. You are not here to follow the rules. You are not here. And if Gemini is born in strict religions, or Gemini is born in like strict families, or Gemini born in like working with governments and stuff like that, you are the most challenged. But you put yourself here to be challenged, to awaken into this and say, oh, this like it's not working. Right? And it's a great thing, because that's where I feel like your truth and your true self starts to shine. And that's where this is. This is where the possibilities start coming in for you, because you're not caging yourself anymore. You do not belong in a cage. You do not belong in prison. And like I can tell you honestly, like I came in I'm experiencing life as a Taurus, Leo, and a Saggy, just like my 3 signs. And Gemini is my Mercury. But I'm so triggered sometimes by Geminis, because they live very differently than I have lived. But I fucking love it. And I love to be triggered by you because you have a different way of looking at life. And that's the beauty, right? I feel like instead of like getting triggered and staying in the trigger, which is what I probably did in the past, now I'm like, oh my God, they're triggering the shit out of me. Okay, I'm moving right to them because I want to like clear that energy. And you'll see that a lot. You will do that a lot for a lot of people. And don't see it as a bad thing. And you and unfortunately you can't keep the long-term relationships going. A lot of you. Some of you can, of course you can, because if you meet the other person that when I say relationships, I don't always mean like romance. Like even if you've noticed in your past that you can't hold on to a lot of like friendships, a lot of things, and then you look at it as a bad thing, but it's really not. It's like you just like, okay, done, next, right? I think it's a beautiful thing. I don't think it's such a beautiful thing to be hanging on, attaching always to the same things. So embrace your energy is all I want to say. Love you, and I hope to see you soon. And go check out your rising, your moon, your sun, your Aries, your Venus, whatever you think you need clarity in your life, because we're talking about chaos and releasing all of that. So I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.